Well, everyone, I guess there comes a time in your life where you got to grow up. So, as you can see, this is my old game room. You can see there's nothing in here but a crib and a changing table. So there used to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games in here. There's been a combination of pinballs and arcades over the last 6 or 7 years, probably about 30 or 40 things in here. So this room is now going to be a nursery. I moved everything into storage this past weekend. A good friend of mine has a huge warehouse where he keeps all his games, and that's where they are. So I did, however, keep 2 things, and I'll show you guys what I got. I kept my MK1, that is a Mame. This is obviously a real dedicated cabinet, but I decided to keep this for 2 reasons. Number one, it's a Mame, and I can play every single game I want to if I choose to. As you can see, I'm rebuilding it. I took apart the control panel. I've never really liked this setup here. It had a pull-out drawer, and this thing was really wobbly. So I want to put the original control panel back on with the hinge so it opens and closes and keeps everything nice and neat. And then I'm getting a custom-made wood and metal, just like the original one, so it's much sturdier, but it's going to be a 6-button layout like Killer Instinct. Then I'll put my Lexan on there. It'll have the artwork, and then I'll rewire everything back up. And then I've been putting this off for a long, long time. This is my bar top. And in this I had a 13-inch arcade monitor. 13 or 19, one or the other. And I decided I was going to change up my test station here. And with the test station, I took another old monitor that's a little bigger than the one I had there and put the smaller one, which is a 13-inch, in here. So I'm going to start doing this. And I was going to do this with all the internal wiring of an MK2 cabinet, but instead of doing that, I'm just going to buy one of those like 3,149 in one JAMA boxes and just throw it in there and see how it works. They're not too expensive, like $200 or $300, so I'll try that out. And then if that works well, hopefully I'll play Mortal Kombat and Killer Instincts and stuff. I'm going to do either a Mortal Kombat theme on this, or I'll do some kind of a custom multi-JAMA artwork on this. So you can kind of see, I've shown this before. It looks like a mini Mortal Kombat cabinet. I had it designed to kind of match the theme of, you know, that design. So you can see the LCD in there. Fits pretty nicely, and then this all comes apart. It's got the MK3 button layout. Probably should have done it 6 buttons since a lot of the games have 6 buttons, but whatever, it's fine. But that's my plans for this. I've been putting this off for probably 2 years and haven't really touched it. And since all the games are now gone, and I got my old Raptor wheels over here that I'm going to put back on if I decide to get the new one if it comes out. And that'll be another project for a later day. But this is really all I got in here now. So the nice thing is I got a lot of room to do a lot of stuff in here. Again, I can, you know, still mess around with the arcade boards over here. I can mess around with my RC stuff. You can see I got a bunch of crap under here. But I got this area over here where I can work on this and this. And if I decide to bring this, you know, in the house at some point, it's only 1 game and not 9 games like I had before in the house. So that's where I'm at. You know, there's not really much I really am going to have time to work on stuff anymore. I don't really look for the cabinets to restore anymore, but this will be a fun project. I'm hoping that the Maximus arcade front end, I can finally figure out how to use that. I had some problems over the years getting that thing to work and match up and find the executable files and open up nice and smooth and close down and all that stuff. And I just need to refresh my memory on how to do that. I also heard that Hyperspin is as good, if not better. So I might experiment with one versus the other and see what's what. I'd like to get a new computer as well in here that just really has the capability, hopefully, of playing games like Gauntlet Legends, Blitz, Mace, and you know, maybe possibly Mortal Kombat 4. But I don't know if these games are just too fast and have too much memory or whatever it is, but those CHD games don't seem to play well in these cabinets unless you have a super, super fast computer. So anybody that actually has one that plays all those games perfectly, if you could maybe message me what the specs of a computer so I can have one built, or possibly find one that's built to those specs, and then install the games and the front end and all that stuff and wire it up, and hopefully I can play everything. Because this is really, I'd imagine probably for the next 4 or 5 years, unless I move out of this house, this is really all I'm going to have. So I'm just going to spend all my time with these two. This one I might be able to bring in the house because it's a little bit smaller, but it is quite large. I mean, it's almost as wide as a full-size cabinet, and it's you know, it's a bar top, but still, I mean, it's roughly a third of the size of a full-size cabinet. So that's where I'm at. It's kind of sad to see all the games go in storage, but again, that's for a good reason. So hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll update this once I get all these parts together. I got to get some artwork and all that stuff put together, and I'll do a little video when that's done. As far as the Street Fighter 2 repair work that I've been doing, I really kind of put that off to the side burner for now because I really haven't had much time to address it. I asked some questions on the forums about it, and not many people really seem to respond or really care, I guess. So I bought a fully working Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition board that I'm going to diagnose these other 3 that I have and see if the chips are just burned incorrectly or whatever it is. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.